Good morning, everyone. So, in this chapter number 15, Hydrosphere, we have read till the tides, and today we are starting with the ocean currents, okay, which is the third movement in the water. Now, what is the ocean current? Ocean current is the movement of the ocean water into a specific kind of a movement. So, that is called as ocean current. Here, the definition is current given. The continuous movement or drifts of the ocean water in a definite direction is known as the ocean current. Now, here in your chapter, it has been given that there are two kinds of ocean currents. One is the warm, and second one is the cold ocean current. Now, warm ocean current, as the name suggests, is a kind of a ocean current which is actually have a warm water, and it has warm water because it flows from equatorial region and towards the polar regions. Then we have cold ocean current. Cold ocean currents are those currents which have cold water, and that is because they are starting and originating from polar region and towards the equatorial region. Okay, so this is the two types of ocean currents. Now there are certain factors on which the movement of ocean currents are dependent, which has been given in these points. The first is due to the prevailing winds, that the water always move in the opposite direction. The water in the polar areas will move towards the equatorial region, and the water from the equatorial region will move towards the polar region. That has been given the first point. Second is due to the Coriolis force. Now, what is Coriolis force? The Coriolis force says that due to the rotation of the earth from west to east, that is the reason why the water in the northern hemisphere will move into the clockwise manner, and the water in the southern hemisphere will move into the anti-clockwise manner. Okay. So in this image also, in the above page, you can see that there are so many ocean currents. Okay, now you can see that in the northern hemisphere the water is moving into the clockwise manner. Okay, and the ocean currents in the southern hemisphere is moving into a anti-clockwise manner. Okay, now the pink lines tells you about the warm currents, and the purple lines tells you about the cold current. Okay, so you can see that when they are moving from the equatorial region towards the polar, they are pink, but when it reaches near the polar region, it converts into the purple line, because now the temperature of the water has become cold. Okay, so now they are purple. Okay, then the difference intensity of water is also one of the reason why the ocean water will have different kind of a movement. Okay, tides also reflect the movement of the water. Tides, when they're moving to a specific direction, then the ocean current will also move. Interaction with other currents and the shape of the land masses. For example, if the ocean current is moving and if certain landmass comes in between, then they might have to move into the another direction. Okay, so this is about ocean currents. Now, what are the effects of ocean currents? First is that the temperature of the land, nearby land, will be changed according to the current. If there is a warm current flowing, then the nearby areas will be bring by warm air, because when the air will move towards the warm current, then it will bring the warm air towards the nearest land masses. And similarly, the cold current, when it is flowing, then it will make the temperature of the nearby areas cold. Okay, so that is the first effect of ocean current. Second is that when the warm current is flowing, then it will bring more and more rainfall to the coastal areas, and if the cold current is moving, then they will decrease the moisture bearing capacity of the wind near the land masses or near the coastal areas. Third point is that the point or the area where the warm and cold current is meeting, that is that helps in making heavy fog. And whenever there is a heavy fog, then it is very difficult for the ships to navigate, because in fog you cannot see what is coming towards the ship. Okay, so that is the third effect. Fourth is related to the third point only, that whenever the warm and cold current is mixing together, then that particular area is very good for the abundance of planktons. What are planktons? planktons are very small organisms which are actually inside the ocean, and they make coral reefs and coral islands when they die. So the plankton is the sea organisms, and they are found abundant into the area where there is a meet between a warm current and a cold current. And finally, the current is actually one of the power resources, and we can tap the energy, and it also helps in saving the fuel, time and fuel, because when the current is moving, and if the ship keeps on sailing into the same direction, then it will help the ship in saving the time and fuel due to the movement which is automatically done by the current. So these are the effects of ocean currents. Then lastly, because this chapter is dedicated to hydrosphere water, then we need to understand that what is the importance of hydrosphere of water. First is we need water for the domestic purpose and irrigation purpose. That is the first important. Second is that from very early times, it is the best mode of transport and communication between continents. Okay, so whenever you want to communicate or you want to transport material from one continent to another, then the waterways is the only form of transport mode which is available. Third is that water bodies is actually a vital source of diverse marine life. All these kind of organisms which are inside the water are able to survive only because of these support from the oceans and seas. We are also obtaining many kind of salt and other minerals from the ocean water. That is again an important point. Then ocean and water bodies also influence the weather and climate. As we have read in 6th standard also, that we receive monsoon. Why we receive monsoon? We receive monsoon in India because we are surrounded by seas. From the left, Arabian Sea, and from the right, Bay of Bengal. And that is why it affects our weather and climate, and is responsible for bringing rainfall to India also. And finally, tidal energy, which is a very important source of generating hydroelectricity. That is one of the important use of water. And because water has so many uses, that is why it is a very precious resource, and we must use it, in a proper manner. That is the need and importance of this. So by this, we have completed this chapter. Thank you so much.